Make sure you subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. And to never miss another lecture from Miracle, hit the bell icon to get regular updates on English literature.
To lords and ladies of Byzantium, of what is past or passing or to come. Hello and welcome to Miracle English Language and Literature Institute. I'm Professor Abha Sharma, and today I'm going to take up W.B. Yeats' very famous poem, Sailing to Byzantium. Yes, the same Yeats who wrote the preface of Gitanjali and introduced Rabindranath Tagore to the Western world. He appreciated the Eastern philosophy and helped in spreading it to the Western world, which later on was followed by T.S. Eliot and many other poets. This poem was published in 1928, and till that time W.B. Yeats was quite matured in his exploration and expression of his thoughts and the mythology. Yeats was an Irish poet, so he talks of Dublin. He's unable to match with the younger generation, with the change of times. He is feeling very absurd and unsuited, alienated from the modern world and the philosophy of the modern people. Therefore, he writes that this is no country for the old men. That means in Dublin, the older generation has given up, or say they are not respected anymore, because the younger ones are absorbed, immersed in the sensuous pleasures. All the three entities are immersed in the same sensuous sexual activities, like fish in water, birds in the air, and the younger generation on land. All are just absorbed or lost in the sensuous pleasure, giving rise to their kind more and more. Humans are now behaving like animals, fish or fowl. They do not give any importance to the nature surrounding them. They don't feel the pleasure while listening to the waterfall or seeing the greenery around them or listening to the melodious songs of the birds. They have forgotten all the past values, morals, and even the artifacts. That is, the beautiful things of the past are not considered important by them. Moreover, they are involved in destroying them. So he's so dejected, and he says that the monuments of the unaging intellect, which means that the intellect of the past cannot be challenged, nor can you produce the same. There are so many wonders of the world which were made centuries ago, say millennium ago. Can you make them again? No. So he says that the younger generation is ignoring them. Next he says that the old people are like the scarecrows, tattered coat on a stick. That means they're very thin. They are not fashionable enough to match with the younger generation, and even their thoughts do not match. So they are uninvited by the younger society. He feels like an alien. So he says that I just don't want to live anymore in this country. And then he talks about Byzantium. Yes, he wants to sail to the country which is called Byzantium, which is popular for its art, culture and all. Byzantium is a Greek name of Istanbul, that is Constantinople, which was once the capital of the Roman Empire when the Romans were ruling Istanbul also, before the fall of Constantinople. So he says that it's better to sail away from this country to the country where the art and all the artifacts are respected, because these are the things, they help you to survive in this cruel world full of struggle and pain without any love. Now, talking about Byzantium, he says that that is a city which is carved by the sages. That means the sages of intellect and unaging art and its beauty, they represent this country. And when you go and stay there and learn about the beautiful things, you would gather the immortal art. You can only get immortality by infusing art in your life. He draws a contrast between a mortal life and immortal life. He says life is mortal, but art is immortal. It stays for centuries. Therefore, I want to come away from this animal instinct. My instinct, it gets too much absorbed in the materialistic pleasure. It will not give my soul the same satisfaction which I will get from art. So he appeals that consume my heart away, sick with desire, and fastened to a dying animal. It knows not what it is, and gather me into the artifice of eternity. He wants to be eternal through the help of art. In the last stanza, he says that he doesn't have any wish to reincarnate into another human being. He wants to come out of the circle of life and death. He doesn't want to take any live form in his next birth. But then he would prefer to be a piece of art which is made by some goldsmith or some artisan who has worked hard on it and had made the eternal piece of art. Like he wants to be a bird made in gold enameling, which will make the drowsy emperor awake. What do you mean by drowsy emperor awake? That means when the emperor is drowsy towards the beauty of the art, that means he is unaware, he is ignorant, he doesn't appreciate art. When the ruler, when the head of the state who's ignorant towards the beauty of art, he does not promote art and morals to the country people. So he wants to awake the emperor so that people of the same country also become conscious towards the beauty of the art and do appreciate, instead of just whiling away their time in different sexual activities or eating, hoarding, etc. So he says that I want to sing to the lords and ladies of Byzantium eternally of what has already passed, that is about the history, or what is in the present, or what will follow next. That means this bird or this piece of art is eternal. It was there in the past, it is there in the present, and it will always be there in future. So this poem is very similar to John Keats or to a Grecian urn. Grecian urn is also a piece of Greek art which was always there. This ode, Grecian urn, I did in the series of Life and Literature. I will be putting the link in the description box. Please do watch, and then you can connect both, that life is consoled by art. When this generation will get bored of the activities which it is following, what will it do? It will get into frustration. So ultimately, they will also seek the refuge of art. This is what Yeats meant by his poem Sailing to Byzantium. So he wants to continue to appreciate and to spread the word that art is immortal while life is mortal. So it is better to indulge oneself in the eternal art. Yeats has given a very picturesque image of Byzantium, of the people involved in reckless activities. The form of the poem is that each stanza is of 8 lines, 3 plus 3 plus 2, written in iambic pentameter. It has a rhyme scheme also, which you can always look for, and it is the poem which has a contrast between many things, the young and the old, the art and the sensuous life, and the cities like Dublin and Byzantium. So all these things, they symbolize the thoughts of the modern and the ancient life. Yeats' poetry is full of symbolism. If he says fish, that means he is covering the complete sea. When he talks about the monuments, he refers to the eternal arts. So there are many symbols present in this poem. Byzantium itself is a symbol of the center of art and culture. The feeling of escapism is also there when he talks about a tattered coat on a stick. That means he is going through the agony of the old age and he wants to just go away, escape from this atmosphere to the place where he is wanted, where he feels friendly, and where he had lived all his life, although in his imagination.